What's going on, guys? Gomes here back again on another MLB The Show 18 Diamond Dynasty video, and yeah, this is a little bit more of a somber attitude, man. Of course, you guys probably saw the title. This is a video that I planned on doing for quite some time, and I figured now is a good time. Of course, I saw Draft Deck Mark's video. If you guys have not seen that video, I strongly encourage you to do so. I will leave that down below in the description. And kind of seeing that made me want to put out this video ASAP, just because I feel the community is all kind of coming together on this point that there's some problems in MLB 18. Now, I don't want to have a super long intro because I want to get right into it, and this is going to be the baseline of everything wrong with Diamond Dynasty this year. You guys notice I'll be on my phone quite a bit just because I have notes that I'm just going to be looking through, points that I want to hit. So let's get going. Alright, first off, we're going to start with gameplay. Of course, core gameplay is where everything kind of starts for a video game. You know, it's hard for a video game to be enjoyable if the gameplay is bad. And personally, I don't think it's terrible, but there's certain things in particular that make this game really hard to play. First off, I want to talk about basically line drives getting hit right up the middle. You guys already know, some of you may have seen, like, on Twitter, there's actually a hitbox for the pitcher. So it doesn't necessarily have to hit him, but there's kind of invisible walls kind of protecting the pitcher. So if it hits that, it will get knocked down. If you know, probably 6-7 times out of 10, if you hit a line drive right through the middle, it's probably gonna hit the pitcher, and that's why I call it pinball 18. It's really frustrating, and that's one of the big problems with guys like contact hitters, and just basically not making it that rewarding when you score up the ball, because it's not realistic for one, but if you hit it hard, because you'll usually be right on the ball to hit, you know, a line drive right through the middle, it's gonna go like 100 miles per hour, it's gonna hit off the pitcher, and it's gonna go a couple of ways, to third, to short, to second, or to first, or even back to catcher, and it's gonna bounce so hard they're gonna get the ball and throw it to first, and you're gonna be out. And the best thing of all, the pitcher still stays in the game. Now, moving on to PCI, of course, PCI has been a big issue. They have fixed some things about it, but still with the PCI feedback, there's a lot of problems where it just doesn't properly register on where you put it, which leads to, you know, it ends up not where you put it. So that leads to pop-ups or ground balls when you could have been right on the ball, so it's inconsistent. And it just makes it really, really frustrating because, you know, and I'm sure you've seen so many creators, Cardinal, I think Rival Coins also put out a video on his Twitter, check that out as well, where he's looking right at the frame, right where the PCI is, and after the pitch, you can see the PCI moves, and he ends up, you know, getting an out when it should have been like a home run or a hard hit line drive. Next up is animations. I know they smoothed up a lot of things with animations this year, but it still is not perfect. It is far from, but it is a lot better than last year, especially with like middle infielders and corner infielders, especially is where I find problems. So many times they do this awkward like slide, like you'll see some of the best. You'll see like Arenado, Machado, guys like that, making just weird animations that if you ever played baseball, you would never do it, let alone some of the greatest fielders in the game right now. And it's really frustrating because, and it leads into my next point, that fielding stats really do not matter. And I really don't know what the fix. Personally, something that I thought about is there's more stats that they should add, and this goes for hitting and pitching as well. I think they should add in more stats. You know, they should have an acceleration stat. A big stat that I always want them to do is something called like a spectacular catch, because if you guys see during the games, you can make diving catches, you know, if you time it right. It makes no difference from a 50 fielding guy to Kevin Kiermaier. It doesn't really matter. So if you have something like a spec catch, it'll give more reason for you to have a good defender. And it's just not like that. There's also, you can put animation thresholds. I really don't know if we really want to go that route. I know a lot of people don't like thresholds in Madden, but it is a little bit different. Whereas, like, if you have 90 fielding, you get access to better animations. And I know it's kind of like how it is right now, but they can improve on it. Moving on to the biggest portion for me and most people, and that's content, man. Of course, we're gonna be talking about Immortals first. Let me actually move my screen for once. So Immortals, basically, you guys know why I do not like them. I do have one Immortal. The reasons why I do not like them is basically just because it rules out pretty much every other card in the game. They're not going to come out with a card better than that. So I told you the two reasons why I didn't want Immortals to come out, which I didn't like the programs, is one, because it makes lineups stale, because if people have all Immortals, they're going to use all the Immortals, because why would you put yourself at a competitive disadvantage? It doesn't make any sense. So one, it makes the game stale, and two, it also makes upcoming content not as exciting. So I mean, if this 95 Mauer came out and we didn't have Mike Piazza in the game, a lot of people would be excited for this card. But since we have Piazza, who is 30 times better than this Mauer just because he has so much more power, and that rhymes, I'm aware, people would be excited for it. So that's a big thing. Immortals kind of ruin the excitement of content. Speaking of content, it's infrequent. I mean, one, usually we get content every week, right? Usually. I still have a problem with that. If you look at a game like Madden, they get 5 content updates a week. We get 1, usually. We didn't even get a content update this week. Like, you see a problem there? 5 to 1. 10 to 1 in this case, in these last 2 week spans. There's an issue with that. I know it's a smaller dev team. I know it's a smaller game. But come on. Can we not at least get like 2 content updates a week guaranteed? I don't see the problem in that. I just don't get it, and especially at a time like this, Madden comes out, it's been 2 weeks, all we've gotten since Madness came out is 1, a roster update, 2, a 89 Matt Holiday that you need 39 inning wins in events for. That's all we've gotten. Madden has released Michael Vick, they've released, I think, DeMarcus Ware, and a bunch of other new cool legends. They have flashback cards, veteran cards, all this stuff every single day, 5+ content updates a week. There's an issue there. Next up is roster updates. As far as I can remember, 16, 17, those are the 2 years that I really played a lot. Roster updates for every week. Every single week we get a roster update. Now granted, usually around like the All-Star break they didn't put one out, which is fine. It's fine if you take like a 1 week break there. But this year it's bi-weekly, and I think over the All-Star break it might have, correct me if I'm wrong, but it might have been like 3 weeks in between a roster update. That is simply too long, because in a game where you have cards that update, you know, when you have cards that update based on performance, you have to have them every week. Even for offline players, it doesn't just affect Diamond Dynasty. If you base the game solely kind of on like cards that update through time, you can't have it once every 2 weeks, especially when sometimes that's the only content you drop in a week. Next up is same cards, man, and it kind of mixed feelings, because some cards it's cool to see come back, but come on, like just looking down this list right now, this card, this card, this card, this card, this card, and 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 other than new legends, all these cards were in the game last year. There's really not any new flashbacks. Like, I could go through this if you guys really wanted me to, and try to find flashback cards that weren't in the game last year. I'm pretty sure this one was. Edwin was in the game last year, so was this. Longoria had a flashback card like this last year. I think this one's new, so you get the idea. All these cards are repetitive, and yeah, some of them are cool to see, but especially when a lot of the times they come back nerfed and not as good, it's not a good look. Computer Fest, CPU Fest, if you look, basically to get all the best cards in the game, it doesn't take skill, it takes you just grinding the computer mindlessly and endlessly. And it touches more when they put in a conquest. They put out more conquest, more CPU gains, as if people want to do more computer games. Unless you give out immortal rewards, why are people gonna grind conquest opposed to an immortal, which is gonna get them a better card? And why is everything based on computer grinding? That doesn't make sense to me. Everything, it just seems like a continuous, endless, mindless grind against the computer. That's not really what a Diamond Dynasty or Ultimate Team style game mode should be. If you look at Madden or 2K, even though I don't like, what is it called? I don't remember It's whatever their main way of playing this year. It's basically a tournament style, kind of like how Madden has like weekend league and stuff like that. You can grind online to get actually meaningful rewards instead of a Mauer that's gonna go for 40,000. Finally, for content, we got packs. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, you don't have to open packs. Packs are not required. Yes, that's true. But once again, because you know how much I love quoting Madden and 2K because I play those games a lot, the packs are good. People like opening packs. Opening packs should be fun. If you look at 2K and Madden, you pull, like if you look at, they came out with game changer packs, right? You're most likely gonna pull an elite every single pack. If you want to translate an 80 overall elite to an 80 overall gold on this game, you can. I opened 250k stubs the other day, or not the other day, like a week ago. I think I pulled 3 golds and 0 diamonds. How is that fun? It's so boring, and what gets me the most? What gets me the most about this, we used to have promo and specialty packs. We used to have stuff like that in MLB 15, MLB 16, and MLB 17. We got Ballin' as a Habit packs for 13,000 stubs. That's what we got this year. And other than the POTM packs, which are 20,000 stubs, usually you're going to lose out. You're going to get a gold card that goes for like 3,000 stubs. We don't get anything special except for a set, which in this last one, they couldn't even come out with a new set card. But it's one card that it's in like an 88, 89 overall that goes for like 30k. That's content to you guys. What? Like, I remember last year, or in MLB 16, because that's when I really hit hard on Diamond Dynasty the most. Like, there would be a time when the Ballin' as a Habit packs came out. I think that's when they released a rookie Mauer. They released a 99 Adam Wainwright, which I actually pulled. And there was actually special cards, and they stayed in packs so you could pull them the whole year. And there were mission starters. I loved mission starters for the main reason, and this is the last thing I'll talk about content-wise. Mission starters were great. You could pull them for packs, you could get them for BR, you could buy them off the market. You get the mission starter, which is usually like a silver to gold card of a rookie to get their prime flashback card, right? And it's a little bit of a grind, but it's a fair grind, mind you. Like there was Joe Mauer, which I think it was like 150 hits, but granted, you're getting a 99 card, which was probably the best catcher in the game that year. And you could also grind versus friends, so basically it only took you 150 at-bats. So it wouldn't take long, then you get the Mauer. And the best part, you could sell that Mauer. That was the best thing about it. So if you didn't want that card, you can be like, hey, I'm gonna sell it. But if you look at this game, if you want to complete like this Eddie Matthews when it came out, or just even now, I mean, it's gonna cost you 220, 225. It's going to cost you 230k, and it's locked in. So if you don't want this card or want to try someone else, tough luck. It's locked in. You don't get those stubs back. At least in MLB 16, you can sell them. Is it going to be as much for you put in? No. But you can still sell it and get some stubs back. Moving on to online play, first we're going to go with ranked seasons. There's a lot of problems with this, even though it's a lot better than MLB 16 was when you... MLB 16, if you guys weren't around for it, you basically just played to play. There really wasn't any more incentive other than leaderboards for bragging rights. But now at least they have something, but it can still be improved. Why? There's no reason to go beyond 900 to 2,000 rating. Once again, it's nothing more than bragging rights. You're not going to get extra stubs. You're not going to get extra tickets, extra packs, extra players. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get anything like that. And also, if you look at Championship Series to World Series, 100 difference, which kind of, it's not huge, but when you get up there, it's a lot harder to get ranked points. You just get a Mauer. That's it. That's really the only other incentive. I mean, you get 1,000 extra stubs, 100 extra tickets. What I think they could do with ranked seasons, turn it to something like Madden. The big problem I have with this, let's say if you make World Series, don't you start off at like 700 or something like that? So it's going to take you, what, 10 games maybe? 10 games if you can win all of them? And you're already in World Series. So what are you gonna do then? Like what's the next where do you go from there? You're just gonna wait until the month is over. There's no reason to play it after that. do not have monthly things like this. Basically, Madden, the way they do it is they have something like they have trophies, which you win. In this case, it'd be a World Series. They would have to, they'd have to think about it. They'd actually have to sit down and talk about it, and not just set it out there every month like they do and clearly don't think about it that much. They'd have to, you know, take some time and think how many trophies you get, how long is it going to be like a run. Maybe it's going to be like BR. You're going to have to win 12 games and you can only lose 4, and then you'll get knocked out. And there's different strings, just like the system you have here, but you get trophies to where you can put them into a couple of different things. You can put them into a diamond pack. You can put them into a gold pack. You can put them into getting that Joe Mauer. So you can still have a season reward, kind of like in Madden if you guys are following. And I'm quoting Madden a lot. They have David Johnson, who you could get day 1. I think some of the top guys, I know Problem Right, I watch him a lot, one of the best Madden players. He got him in a couple days because he played a lot. It didn't take him a month to get, and he got him because he was good. You know, that's what I kind of want. And also, they have a bunch of different things where, let's say it costs 100 trophies to get Joe Mauer. Maybe it costs 60 to get an NAT Joe Mauer, so you can't sell him. Something like that. Spend some time and think about it. Lastly, for online play, we're going to talk about events. Events could really be ramped up and basically just add more rewarding rewards, because this 89 Matt Holliday is a slap in the face. I said this before on a video. That Holliday would not even be on my bench. I would rather have Dale Murphy and, okay, not Tony Gwynn, but I'd rather have Nelson Cruz. I'd rather have Larry Doby. I'd rather have Billy Williams. I'd rather have Kyle Schwarber. I'd rather have all of them than Matt Holliday. I'd rather have cards that were available day 1 than this card that came out halfway through the game cycle. And finally, we're just going to talk about some other things. One, it just seems, and I'm not ripping on the devs because I know they do try. It's not that they don't care. I just think they're out of touch. I honestly do. I think they're just kind of out of touch with the community. And the reason why that is because if you look at a game like Madden and 2K, they release cards that are good gameplay wise that people are going to get excited for. Is Ryan Shazier, and I know he got hurt, bless you, hopefully you can come back strong, hopefully you can play again in the NFL, but is he even a top 10 linebacker in the NFL? Hell no. But he is definitely a top 10 player to use on Madden, and they show that by putting out cards of him. In this game, they give you Ozzie Smith. For example, for the Cardinals. He is their team epic reward. You have to pitch 200 innings with Cardinal pitchers, which takes like, I mapped it out. It takes like 12 hours in total to do the whole grind for the Cardinals team epic, even a little bit more. And it's going to cost you stubs. You get an Ozzie Smith with 25 power. 25 power can't hit it past the catcher. And the catcher's behind you. That's how bad it is. They're out of touch. They don't realize that these cards just don't work in their game. They don't. They have to understand that. Next up is just the lack of communication. I swear. I went on Ramon's Twitter and I know, like, once again, not trying to rip on him or anything because I know he does stuff behind the scenes, but he has not tweeted once about this game. He's not tweeted one single time this entire year about MLB The Show 18. The most he's done is retweet tips. Like I said, I know he does other stuff, but come on, look at Guru. He tweets all the time, and he also does stuff behind the scenes. And then even if you look at MLB The Show tips, there's times where he doesn't tweet for a week. And I know we don't get that much content, so what the hell is he going to tweet about? You can still find stuff to tweet about. Keep us in the loop. Say, oh, we got this coming, or keep on the look for this, or just engage with the community. And that kind of touches within my last point. Listen and be in the community more. It's gonna be a more fun environment for everybody, for the content creators, for the players in general, and for like the devs, the dev team. It's gonna be better if we just talk so they know what we want and they can listen to ideas, because honestly, in most video games, whether it be a shooter, a sports game, a battle royale game, whatever it is, 9 times out of 10, the community has good ideas as well. It's not just the developers. Listen to the community, find out what they want, find out more about your game. And that's really gonna do it. This was actually kind of brief, honestly. I could go much more in depth, and eventually I will. I'm probably gonna upload like an hour-long video at some point. Just talking about this, but that's kind of like the outline, my thoughts about it. I am still enjoying MLB 18. I should have a pack opening out tomorrow. The problem is it's just hard to get excited to do it, because if I don't, I probably won't pull a diamond out of 150k, and I'm just gonna have to scrap a bunch of bronzes and commons. I mean, hell, like I had to clear out my binder the other day. I have 76 silver player packs. I have to try to do this stuff to even be close to making some stubs back, because packs just are bad. You don't pull golds, and even when you do pull them, they don't go for anything, and diamonds rarely ever pull. I mean, you guys have seen my videos, you've seen other content creators, and you've witnessed it yourself. Packs are bad. We can all admit it. But that is gonna do it for this video. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything I talked about down below in the comments. As always, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, let's have a conversation about it. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like down below. If you guys did not enjoy this video and thought I made some dumbass points, dislike it. I don't really give a shit what you do, to be honest with you. I don't really care. But hope you guys have a great day, and then it guys comes out. Yay!